Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video where unfortunately this week's video is another non-match day experience. However, that will be changing next week as I'm going to see Fulham take on Newcastle with a guest too. But anyway, this week's video I'm going to be reacting to my Premier League predictions from last week and also how well I did with the Fantasy Premier League team. So let's begin. As you can see on the screen here, I managed to get 77 points this week, which wasn't too bad. I was very impressed with Son as well, getting 19 points. I was criticised in the comments for putting him in the team, but with Spurs having a player as good as him and with his qualities, it was always going to start shining again at some point. So fortunately, it was against Leicester. Off the bench too as well, but a brilliant hat-trick, some fantastic goals too. Cancelo also did very well, getting me a clean sheet and 9 points. Kane also, I captained him, he did well. He always seems to perform well against Leicester, which you absolutely love to see when he's in your team. But anyway, moving back to the actual Premier League predictions, let's take a look at how I did. So there were two games on the Friday night football. Now, one of them was Aston Villa versus Southampton. Now, I predicted 1-0 to Aston Villa. And the actual result was 1-0 to Aston Villa. Brilliant start, guys. I called it. I was quite confident with this prediction. I was fairly certain that Aston Villa would win. So, yeah, a little bit lucky, but you have to say it's ball knowledge. So, yeah, I'm very happy with that one. Great start. However, the other one on Friday night didn't go too well as Fulham beat Forest 3-2. Now, I predicted a 2-2 draw for this one, but Fulham just seemed to run away with it. They're doing really well this season. Quite a few people had them down to get relegated. However, I couldn't quite see that happening with the likes of Andreas Pereira and Joao Pellegrini. I just can't see it happening. Mitrovic as well, like I said in the previous video, is still doing brilliantly in the Premier League, which you absolutely love to see if you're a Fulham fan. But we'll see if he scores next week as I'm going to Craven Cottage with my mate to see Fulham take on Newcastle. Moving on to Saturday's games now, it was Wolves versus Man City in the early kickoff. Now this one was 3-0 to Man City, I predicted 3-1, so I got the result right, not the score, but I wasn't too far away. I did predict that Man City would get 3 goals, but I just thought Wolves maybe would score, but going down to 10 men so early on just really didn't help them, and then from then I just couldn't see them coming back. And now it's time for Newcastle versus Bournemouth, and I don't know if many people saw this one come in. I got it completely wrong. The actual score was Newcastle 1, Bournemouth 1. I said 3-0 to Newcastle. Got it completely wrong. I thought Newcastle would run away with the game, being at home as well. Good to see Isak getting on the score sheet though, or Isak. I think it's Isak. And he's in my fantasy team too, so that was great. But yeah, Bournemouth didn't play too badly, and I think they deserved a draw in the end, to be honest with you. Now for the late game on Saturday, that was between Spurs and Leicester. Now it was a difference of 4 goals. However, I predicted 4-0. And it ended up being 6-2. Now, Leicester, they are really not looking good this season. Something needs to change, whether it be Brendan Rodgers getting sacked or getting in a few new players in January. But even still, that's quite a long way away. The international break is coming up, though, this weekend as well. So that will give them a little bit of space to reset, and hopefully they'll get back into playing well soon. Because I do like Leicester. Everybody seems to like them since they won the Premier League as well. And they've got some fantastic players with the likes of Yuri Tielemans, Jamie Vardy and James Maddison too. So we'll see what happens after the international break. Now let's move on to Sunday's fixtures. Now the early one was Brentford versus Arsenal. I predicted this one to be a close one and I said 2-1 to Arsenal. However, it ended up being 3-0 to Arsenal. They completely ran away with the game. However, it ended up being 3-0 to Arsenal. They completely ran away with the game and even brought a 15-year-old on. He's younger than me. That was just crazy to see, to be honest, but good for him, and I'm sure he has a bright future ahead. And now for the final game, the late one, it was Everton versus West Ham. Now, this prediction was the one I was most confident with. I said 1-1, and I got it wrong. Everton won 1-0. I expected more from West Ham. They weren't good enough at all. They also look really disappointed in the Premier League this season. In Europe, they didn't do too badly. When I went to the game, you can see it here. But for me, they didn't deserve it. And Everton played quite well, to be honest with you. So guys, that is it for the FPL part and my predictions part. However, there are a few things that I also want to talk about with some channel updates. The first thing being that I now have an actual target goal. Now, my target was to always reach 1,000 subscribers. I really wanted to do that. And I read somewhere that it takes most YouTubers about a year to do it. And we're over halfway through and I've only been doing it for 2 months. So not too bad at all. But yeah, I want to hit it 1,000 subscribers before November, the weekend of November the 5th, ideally. That sort of Saturday. But yeah, hopefully we'll do that. We should do it because we're doing well. but we need to keep going. I'll also get some more matchday experiences. I've also got some midweek games coming up. Well, definitely one being Spurs versus Frankfurt in the Champions League. 2 guests for that one as well. I cannot wait. It's going to be a brilliant game. Also, if you watched the last video like this, the predictions video, you'll know that I mentioned about going abroad and watching a game perhaps in the Bundesliga or in Germany, or a Champions League game abroad. That is getting closer and closer now. Nothing is confirmed at the minute, but I am hoping to have at least a couple of matchday experiences, the actual vlogs, abroad this season. So we'll see what I can do. Hopefully we'll get some stuff arranged, but anyway, the next few weeks I've got games lined up. So unlike this week and last week, we will actually be going to some games, but I might be doing some bonus content. I also want to do something, obviously when the World Cup's on, there's no Premier League or Championship or anything really. So I was thinking about doing something like rating the World Cup kits, or even FIFA streams. Now FIFA 23 is coming out. I did buy the game this year, so I could do streams or something like that as a little bit of bonus content or other content rather than the actual matchday experiences. But of course, this is mainly a football channel. However, I do other sports like cricket, and I'll also be having a rugby video on here hopefully quite soon. I would also maybe like to go and see a basketball game, something like that, just to keep the videos going, and also seeing different sports, as it's not just football. But the plan in general is to just keep the videos going, hopefully get one out once a week. That's going to be my little schedule now, see if I can do that. But as I said, most of the videos from now until the World Cup will be a proper matchday experiences, with a few bonus videos in between, just to keep the channel going. Also guys, if you haven't already, please go and follow me on Instagram. It's a good way to keep up with the content, as I post little bonus things, and also when I go to the games I post pictures of me there, and also the travel too sometimes. So I'd recommend going to follow me on there. It's the matchday experience, again, same as the YouTube channel. But guys, we're going to wrap up the video here. All I can say to end it with is to make sure you come back next weekend. The video will probably be out on Sunday, as I'm going to see Fulham versus Newcastle at Craven Cottage, like I already said. And hopefully it's going to be a good one. We're sitting right near the away fans as well. I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, turn on the notifications as well, so that you can be one of the first for my next video. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.